All right, thank you once again for joining us for another Google Plus Hangout for Channel Vin. We're still looking at the cybersecurity issue. This month, as you all know, is the Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and a lot has been going on with experts telling people what to do to stay secure online. We're now joined by Matthew, Tunji Matthew, Igbala Jobi. Anyways, thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
Of course. So let's begin with defining what cyber security is.
In a layman understanding, cybersecurity is the protection of the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. It could be either at state or at rest or in transit, and we have to look at it from vis-a-vis people, process, and technology.
All right, very well. So, I mean, what steps can one take, to be safe online? So, just to make this internet usage a more secure experience.
There are quite numbers of things that we need to understand why we, surfing on the internet. You agree with me now? With the advent of technology development, the society has now become a global community where everyone has an internet connection, and the connection actually give us a whole lot of opportunity. So as much as this technology comes with its own development, as well it does have its own imminent risk, which had quite numbers of adverse effects on people that are using internet without having understanding of what are the security measures that they need to put in place to ensure that they are secured. So while surfing on the internet, there are quite numbers of countermeasure mechanism that we need to put in mind so as not to get ourselves compromised on the internet.
Yeah, what are some of those measures?
Yeah, some of the method is you must ensure that when you are browsing on the internet, maybe you are visiting a particular site, you must be sure that the site that you are visiting is the original site. This is not a hoax, and you need to ensure that you understand the security of that site. What is the security parameter of the site? Is it an HTTPS? Is it just an HTTP, a browser, application? So you need to validate the security of an application or, website that you are visiting, not to ensure that, you are visiting a hoax or it's a web application that has been set up, to propagate malware. So people must ensure that they understand that the website they are visiting, they have a better understanding of, how to actually solve it. The best way to actually go about it is that when you want to visit the site that you don't even perhaps maybe you don't have better understanding of what the site is, the URL, you can use Google to search. Google search is always a very good one to sometimes validate the authenticity of a website. And at the same time, people must ensure that their password becomes one of the very critical things that they keep. They must ensure the confidentiality of their password, so that hackers online will not be able to actually steal the password. And there are quite numbers of things that you need to do. Maybe for people that might think that remembering password for quite numbers of online social media that we have, different accounts, you can use the password management system that can actually help. And at the same time, when you're actually disseminating information on the internet, you must bear in mind that you are not the only one on the internet. There are quite numbers of people behind the screen, and they are monitoring what you're doing. So you must ensure that you don't just go on the internet to share confidential information, that are particularly maybe about your business, about your organization, or about your family, and even about yourself as well. So you must ensure that the information that we share on the internet are information that are actually meant to be online, so that we don't get compromised as a result of revealing confidential information about ourselves.
So in a nutshell, one security solely depends on him while surfing the net.
Yeah.
Interesting. So then let's look at those who engage in all this cyber, crimes. Is there any force in place, that so to speak now, like a cyber police, like do we have a cyber police, so to speak?
That's a very good one. I must say that the security agency in Nigeria, especially the Financial Crime Commission, the AFCC and the Nigerian police, they've been making a considerable effort, and as well working with the Interpol, making a considerable effort to ensure that cyber criminals in Nigeria and even in West Africa, being checkmate. Well, the truth of the matter is that if I'm going to actually tell you the truth, there is no cyber police, that is specific, designed for cyber security. As far as Nigerian government is concerned, there is no cyber police. What we have is that we have Interpol, we have Nigerian police, we have the Nigerian special fraud unit, which is a special fraud unit in the police arm, and well, they are actually doing, their own, making effort to ensure that the menace cybercrime in Nigeria is actually checkmate. But there has never been any institution that is set up, a cyber police in Nigeria, and I think this is one direction that government as well needs to start looking at. They need to start equipping Nigerian, especially Nigerian youth, who are technically savvy, to start, engaging them in this area. And this is an opportunity to even generate more job opportunity for Nigerian youth, engaging them in activity to curb this cybercrime that has actually, tarnished the image of the country.
Well, speaking of government, at the event we were at the Barack Obama American Corner, the police also made mention of, going to or wanting to establish an anti-cybercrime unit. Is that, how does that, what does that make? What do you make about that?
Yeah, that's a very good one. It's a welcome development. But the challenge I have with some of these initiatives and the proposition from government is that sometimes they drag too long before the implementation come up. And the internet is not waiting for anybody. Technology keep advancing every day. And if you kept on, piling things up, not taking a drastic measure to ensure that we put adequate institution in place to checkmate some of these excesses, we're just going to be a round peg in a square hole. Yeah, exactly. We're not going to be having a formidable approach to curbing this menace. And at the same time, we need to understand that Nigerian police that is coming up with the anti-cybercrime initiative, well, it's a welcome development, but what I'm going to encourage them is that they must have the will to pursue to the latter. This is not just going to be one of the gainsaying. It as well must be, an initiative that the government is ready to run with, and they're ready to put adequate measure in place to make it work.
Well, let's hope that happens. But still staying with the government, the 2015 legislation, the 2015 anti-cyber. The cybercrime prohibition bill. How has that helped, in curbing some of these crimes?
Yeah, well, it is also a welcome development for Nigeria to have actually passed the cybercrime bill. That actually giving us a head. We are one of the countries in Africa who has actually achieved this feat. Where it is the welcome development, is the work in progress. But the challenge we have with this bill is the implementation. That is the challenge we have as a security professional. The implementation of the cybercrime bill has not really been felt. We have not really felt the implementation, the process flow. There are quite numbers of challenges with that document. For me, I see it as a document that was just documented, and we've not really felt the implementation. So the government must ensure that the implementation of the cybercrime bill, quickly come up. And the cybercrime strategy policy document as well. There is a strategy document that government has as well developed, to ensure that Nigerian cyberspace has a strategy for its implementation, for its security. So these are some of what government must ensure that they are on their toes for the full implementation.
All right, so let's look at it. In 2016, we had a lot of issues, hacks and all that. But it seems it still repeated itself in 2017. It could be safe to say that 2017 actually continued or kicked off where 2016 stopped. How do we stop some of these hacks?
You mean how do we stop some of these cybercrime challenge, right?
Yeah. So I'm talking about the hacks that occurred this year. We had major hacks this year, the ransomware, and thereabouts. It seems to be a global phenomenon now. Is there any global approach to stopping it?
Well, there are global initiatives to curbing cybercrime. That is why some of these integration are coming in from different angles. But in the issue, there are issues that can actually impede international community working hand in hand. Number one is issue that has to do with national sovereignty. National sovereignty sometimes is another challenge. If an attack emanates from Nigeria today, and attack emanates from Nigeria to, let's say, to America, is there an harmonization? There is a need for international harmonization on cybercrime, to ensure that cyber criminals are, thoroughly prosecuted. And the issue of national sovereignty should be one thing that government also needs to harmonize on.
All right, let's hope that comes to pass anytime soon. But then, Matthew, thanks so much. Igbala Jobi, thank you so much for your time today on the program.
Thank you.
Of course.